Hi guys, Harry Yotis here. I have been a professional trader for 20 years now. Started my career way back in 2005 working for a major bank in Canada. And for the past 10 years, I've been trading my own account. So let's get started with today, the daily market update for Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. I have to get used to saying 2026, not 2025. Apologies if I make that mistake going forward. So, big news of the day, I guess, is wall of worry. We have it right here. This market is climbing a wall of worry. All we have is continuous negative news coming out. You see it everywhere. We'll get to it later, but first, let's always talk about the technical picture of the S&P 500 Wednesday. Still bullish, even though today we lost about 0.3% on the S&P 500. This chart is still bullish. I love this volatility contraction pattern, which each successive drop in the market is less and less severe. Today might be that drop, the fourth in a row before going higher. Okay, wall of worry. Technical picture though, bringing in the moving averages, still bullish, still above the 50, still above the 200. Nothing really has changed from yesterday. Literally, because you're still getting bad news at the highs. Okay, so technically bullish, nothing has changed. Let's talk about the sentiment right now. Of course, because on a down day, the sentiment dropped to neutral, hovering close to fear. All of the sub-indices are in neutral fear. And still the put-call ratio is extreme fear. People are still buying puts on this move, I'm pretty much guaranteed. So we'll see later on how this turns out. But again, this to me is still bullish. We're having neutral sentiment bordering on fear as we're going to the highs. Wall of worry, classic, okay? So before we talk about the wall of worry, we did have some macro news today. Okay, we had the ISM manufacturing came out for the services PMI. And services PMI came out at 54.4 compared to 52.6. We're expanding faster. Services are going up faster. So again, the economy is not imploding. It's holding up. Services make up at least 70% of the economy, at least maybe 67, 2/3. So, and that's increasing. So I don't see any cracks in the economy just yet. Okay. And yet we still have this wall of worry. Okay. So the macro that we got today was fairly bullish. Technicals are bullish. Sentiment is bullish for me. Okay, we're not even close to being euphoric. And now let's get to the wall of worry, okay, which is today's theme. This morning we had more bad news. The U.S. seizes a Russian-flagged oil tanker in North Atlantic and a second tanker. So this global resource war that we keep talking about is not going to end or stop anytime soon, especially after Venezuela. The BRICS are going to double down and it's going to be a war going on, okay, a literal war for resources, okay? So the market has shrugged this off, and maybe that's why we're going down today because of this. I don't think so, because we had a lot of naysayers saying that things are bad, okay? We even had it in the gold space, okay? We'll get to the gold and silver space because yesterday they were breaking out to new highs and all of a sudden now we're bearish. We have possibly this big news event. The Supreme Court could rule on Trump's tariffs as soon as Friday. Okay, if you read it, you will see that the U.S. Supreme Court has indicated that it could release opinions on Friday at around 10 a.m. Eastern time on whether it's legal or not for Trump to impose these tariffs. So the Supreme Court, if you keep reading, has promised to provide an expedited ruling in the tariff case, leading to expectations that a decision could come this month rather than in the end of term release of opinions in June. So this is just pure speculation. Could, maybe, who knows? It might not even do it. Okay, so maybe people are front running this decision. I don't know. You don't really know about these like day-to-day reasons of why the market here is down. But, you know, you can point to anything. Maybe the people are afraid that, I don't know, will tariffs be, what if the Supreme Court rules that tariffs are not constitutional or whatever? Is that bad? Tariffs are off. Shouldn't the market rip? Okay, I mean, I don't know why that's negative. So, whatever. I just see this wall of worry everywhere. And you have other news like on Zero Hedge and everything like, Volatility remains compressed relative to the catalyst calendar. So Citadel's head of equity thinks that it's a bad thing that volatility is so low. What he means is that the VIX here is flirting at low levels, and that's bad because it could spike at any time. Again, the fear. Look, we can have low levels for a brief 1 or 2 day spike, oh well, and then back down for like months of bullishness. So, I mean, we just had two huge ones, two huge spikes in October of 25 and November. So maybe, and we're in a seasonally bullish period. So I don't know, like we're getting all this negative news, okay? I mean, this is what you want to see as a bull. I like this. I like the fact that that we're still having negative news as we're going to new highs, okay? And now let's go to the wall of worry is still there, even in the gold, silver, and copper case that we talked about yesterday. So let's go to gold. Okay, gold today was dropping a bit. It was down, as you can see, this is Wednesday. It dropped, but then the wick recovered. Does this look, I mean, everybody was scared that gold was down. A lot of gold miners were down too, okay? If you look at the GDX, okay, it was down. It went from like the 91, well, it closed yesterday at 92, but it was all the way to 88, okay? Fear. But then quickly bought back, okay? It did even better than gold, okay? So this is not bearish to me. Why are people still bearish? I don't get it. Silver too. Silver, okay, it had a bigger move because silver is more volatile. It dropped from, I don't know, what was it here? 80, 81 yesterday, closed at 81.40, and now it's like 78. People are freaking out. Come on, guys. Okay, this just alleviated the overbought conditions even more. So, I mean, it's still an uptrend. Nothing has happened. I'm waiting to re-enter this space. Okay, it hasn't dropped large enough and based out like this type of scenario here. This is what I'm looking at to go long again for a swing trade. I'm still long my long-term positions, and I see no reason to get out of them. Okay, whereas every like gold guru or silver guru out there is like, oh guys, we told you volatility is coming back. You should be careful. Like they're positive when it goes up and they're negative when it goes down. I mean, you can't whipsaw like that. You can't whipsaw your opinion like that. The fundamentals on your side. Don't get freaked out by one down day. Okay, and not just that, but same with the copper. Okay, copper, I liked it. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about how to value copper companies. Okay, it's just basically a retest back at the highs of the Trump tariff era. Okay, copper's down 3.5%. Look at this trend. Okay, look at this trend. Breakout, retest. Still long. There's no reason to get out. And the bullish fundamentals in the long term are going to play out. Bullish meaning that there's shortages. It takes a while to put on a copper. It takes a billion to 2 billion. A billion would be a cheap price to build a copper mine nowadays. Okay, 2 to 3 to plus 4 billion to build copper mines. It takes a lot, and it comes on in 7-8 years. Like the supply is not going to come in right away. So you have bullish fundamentals for gold, copper, silver. Don't freak out when you have one down day. Okay, again, we're going to go back to SPY here. Wall of worry. That's what you want. You should be happy that this happens. Okay, so the wall of worry, not just for the markets, and this looks good to me, but also for the precious metals and the base metals, everything. Okay, so I'd like to finish today's episode by talking about some trades that I did today. Okay, I took on 2 new trades. One is in Microsoft. Around the close, I sold more puts. Okay, way out of the money because I'm still bullish. I think the market's going to go up. So I re-entered the Microsoft trade. We had that. I expect this to be a swing trade, and I also took a position on my favorite short, oil. Okay, I shorted oil. Okay, in the morning. Okay, it went down. I was more in the money, but then it recovered. If you can see here on Wednesday, this is U.S. oil. Look at the long-term trend. We said we're still bearish. Lower highs, lower lows, and I think if it breaks this $55 level, we're close. We're at $56.31 a barrel. If it breaks that 55, look, it's tested at 1, 2, 3, 4 times. The 5th time, if it breaks it, it's going even lower. It's going all the way to, I think, 42, this next support here. All the way back to 2020 support here, 42. So I took a short position on oil. Okay, you have to have shorts as well as your longs. So those are the 2 new positions that I opened up. I didn't wait for a spike. And if it spikes, I'm going to short more. Okay, I'm very, very bearish oil, especially after the Venezuela move that Trump did. So, and what else did I mentioned on my Twitter, UUU, I like the global resource war, energy fuels, rare earths, and uranium, perfect. I mentioned on Twitter 2 days ago that this is a great breakout. I'm still holding my long position here. It played around with my emotions back and forth, this kind of like consolidation, which is very, very good, okay, as long as you're long. And after the breakout, it confirmed it, so I'm still holding these options that I have. I have $15 calls, 15.22 call spread. It's looking good. I think it's going to pay off. Look, it's still strong today. It was up 3.3% as the market was down. So you have this global resource war is real. It's still going, and it's bifurcating from the market. So that's it, guys. Let's recap. SPY, wall of worry. Technical still bullish, as you can see. Okay, we retested a bit. Still very bullish. I like this series of this volatility contracting space. Each down move is less severe than the next, and this could be the fourth. We have 1, 2, 3 down moves, and this could be the fourth before ripping higher. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. I just know that all of the fundamentals and the technicals are screaming bullish to me. The sentiment indicators, neutral, perfect. More fuel to go higher, and people buying puts. I like this put call ratio still at extreme levels. Okay, we had the ISM manufacturing come in. Not manufacturing, the ISM Services PMI coming at 54.4, much higher than the 52.6. Services expanding. The economy is doing well. It's not doing amazing. GDP is like, 3%, 3%. It doesn't matter. That's all that is required for the market to continue to go up. And all the negative sentiment of Russian oil tankers being seized. The Supreme Court could rule by Friday. We don't know. Vol remains compressed. Citadel's equity group, we're about to... And we even have another one here that I didn't even put up because is silver about to crash? Okay, so you have like negative news everywhere across the board. Okay, and we see gold, people freaking out at the highs. This is not a freak out to me. This is stay long. Okay, silver too. Stay long. Nothing has happened yet. Still looking good. HG, copper futures. Retesting of the previous tariff highs. Looking good. This elite still not even close to overbought. So there you have it. And of course, our trades that we entered, Microsoft long here, I like it, and shorting US oil. That's it, guys. If you like what you hear, of course, like and subscribe, and leave a comment below, and I will answer it as soon as I can. So that's it. Let's see what happens tomorrow. And maybe we will get the announcement on Friday. I just don't think it's going to be bad for the market. But we'll see. Nobody knows the future. We just play the odds and position accordingly. Later, guys.